Good morning. Hi, I'm Laura Jaramillo. I'm here at the golf course with Chris Roybal, who is our marketing director with the City of Grants. And we are going to give you a few updates what's going on at the city. So first of all, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the city's budget. It is budget time. Our budgets are due to the state by June 1st. So our departments have been working very closely with myself and our finance director to update our budgets. Of course, with the COVID-19, we are anticipating a shortfall in revenue this coming year. We are projecting probably a 30% decline in revenue. So we have taken our budget figures from this year and are lowering our expected expenditures by about 30% as well. And so the city has implemented a hiring freeze. We've also implemented a spending freeze where we are trying to cut down purchases of anything that can wait and is not necessary. So our goal in all of this is to try not to have any layoffs, but we do realize we might end up having to do furloughs for our staff. Our priority, though, is to keep everybody working. We feel like that's better for the economy overall. Because the city is expecting revenue shortfalls, that will also impact those nonprofits that we also fund. Most of the funding that goes out to nonprofits is through the lodger's tax. And the lodger's tax is a tax collected at the hotels. It's sent to the city, and in turn we're supposed to turn that around and do activities, marketing, and promotions that will bring additional people to stay in Grants in the hotels. So most of the money we get from lodgers goes out to nonprofits. So each year the nonprofits put in a proposal as to activities or events they would like to sponsor or marketing tools they would like to implement. The funding typically goes out to the rodeo grounds, the historic museum, the aviation museum, the mining museum, Chamber of Commerce, Main Street, American Legion, who sponsors an event. There are several. This year the funding was cut by about $100,000 due to the conditions with the COVID-19. So those nonprofits will need a lot of support from the community to help them continue the services that they provide for our community. So because of the COVID, we've also gone to virtual meetings and to try to adhere to social distancing. So Chris has been very instrumental in helping us to set up virtual meetings. We've obtained a GoToMeeting link, and we've been Facebook streaming our meetings. We continue to become more proficient at that. It was a relatively new concept for us, and we're getting much better at it. Chris and some other partners at the city have worked very hard to obtain some additional equipment to help us to live stream. We've had some concerns from the public that it's hard to hear. And what we've found is that if you use earphones or earbuds, that it helps to hear. And you also can hear better if you're on a phone or an iPad, if you watch the live streaming on Facebook that way. If you're watching from a computer, that's where typically it's harder to hear. So having earphones will help. Chris got some additional equipment that can plug into our live stream apparatus, and that seems to be helping.
Yes.
So, so please like us on Facebook and join us in our meetings. Because the meetings aren't live, if you have comments or suggestions that you would like to make to the council, those need to be submitted earlier in the day of the meeting or anytime prior to the meeting.
We do have a 3 p.m. cutoff the day of that meeting, and you can email either to clerk@grantsnm.gov or marketing@grantsnm.gov, and we'll make sure it's read.
Along those lines, to save money, we are no longer going to put individual ads in the newspaper for announcing all of our advisory board meetings or city council meetings. We will have one notice in the paper that tells you to go to our website or our Facebook page to find out information regarding all of the community meetings. So besides city council, the city sponsors several advisory boards that meet, and the information regarding the dates of those meetings will be on our website and the times. And of course, any public are welcome to join in on those, especially once the social distancing measures are relaxed and people can attend again. But for now, we'll try to live stream the ones especially that seem to be the most, gain the most interest from the public. We wanted you to know that we have been putting out trash bins recently. We typically have a spring cleanup, and we couldn't do that this year, and so we've been putting out trash bins the last 2 weeks. Next week will be another set that will be placed on over on San Jose Street or by San Jose Park.
Correct, on Monday.
And
This will be out.
so, yes, and then if we have the availability, we may put out additional, but in addition to these trash bins, the community citizens of Grants who get their water and trash through the city can also every other month get a coupon from the water department to take trash to the dump, and it's worth a $7 fee at the solid waste. We wanted the public to know that the City of Grants is taking over the programs at Future Foundation's Family Center. The Family Center has been a partnership with the nonprofit, the Future Foundations, and the Grants Recreation Department for many years. The foundation, which is the nonprofit, has struggled the last year or so in retaining a director and requested if the city would be willing to take over their programs. So we are absorbing those programs under the city Recreation Department, and Joaquin Heron will, and his staff through the recreation, will help to facilitate some of the things the Family Center did was the after-school programs and some summer programs throughout the year for youth and families. And so we're going to try to maintain those. In addition, the Family Center has, over the years, obtained several grant funding that we're going to try to pick up the ball and see if we can keep those pots of funding coming to our community, because they help provide services and programs for our community. So we'll work together in partnership to maintain all of that. So in some ways that will be good, because I think people didn't know how the Family Center operated. They saw the city rec and the Family Center staff as one, and so now they will truly be one. So that will be helpful for coordinating programs. I think I already talked about Lodgers Awards. Last night the City Council made Lodgers Awards to the various nonprofits. They were down about, the total amount was down about $100,000, as I mentioned. So we're going to all have to work together to help volunteer some to conduct some of the programs that those groups have done. We've been implementing a water meter project over the last probably year and a half. That project is coming to an end. Most of you and most of our businesses have new water meters in place. They're automatic reads, and so we were able to cut out staff who are meter readers coming around reading meters. The staff can put in some information into the computers, and it will give them automatic reads to these meters. These meters should last about 25 years, and they also are very efficient in showing us where there's water leaks. And so the staff at our office periodically monitor, and so they may be calling you off and on telling you that you have a water leak. If it's above ground, typically you will notice, but sometimes there's leaks below the ground that we don't know, and you're losing water and you're not sure why your water bill is going higher. You are going to automatically notice higher water bills because the new meters are more efficient in actually doing accurate reads. And so since those were put in last summer, people have been noticing a slightly higher water bill due to the accurate readings. We're just completing putting in what's called a community block development grant application to the state, and our application is asking for $750,000, which is the maximum amount you can ask for, to continue to address Washington and Jefferson flooding. We've started working on that flooding issue on the side of the street on Jefferson, and you probably see much of that work going on, and the traffic, of course, has been blocked. But if we obtain this funding, they will continue that work over to the south on Washington. Jefferson's being done right now. It'll continue over onto Washington. This has been a project that's been on the books for many years due to the flooding in that neighborhood, and close to the housing area, the family center, and also Mesa View Elementary. We also obtained $1.5 million this last year from the New Mexico Department of Transportation for Washington Bridge. So that project was just bid out these last few weeks. Last night the council approved a contractor that will begin that project very soon, and so they'll be replacing the bridge, and that will also help with the flooding and the drainage in that area. The council last night voted to increase cemetery plots for those living outside of the city of Grants. Primarily those that are living outside of the county will be paying $500 more for a plot. Those living outside of the city will be paying $200 more for a plot. And the reason for that is because spaces are running slow or running slim, and eventually we'll run out of space and need to purchase additional property for cemetery plots. But we're finding that our plots were more affordable, and so there were a lot of people coming in from outside of our county purchasing plots. And we want to make sure that we're saving plots for those who live in our community. We frequently get requests for speed humps, and so I kind of wanted to address that. We had a request yesterday, and people don't always know how you go about getting a speed hump. If a neighborhood would like a speed hump in their neighborhood due to people driving through at over the speed limit, what you do is you get a petition form from our code enforcement office, which is located across the street on Santa Fe Avenue from the City Hall, and you have to get signatures from the neighborhood. I believe it's 60%, I don't know if Chris knows, 60% of the neighborhood has to sign the petition in favor. Then it goes before our Planning and Zoning Commission, and they do, a lot of times they'll do a traffic assessment through the police department and consideration. They don't approve all speed hump requests. They like to try other measures a lot of times first, but they're considered by Planning and Zoning, and then if they approve it, the city will implement a speed hump. Currently, I've had a request to work on our noise ordinance, or I guess it is the noise ordinance, because currently, if somebody's making a lot of noise every day for many days, and it's disturbing to others, disturbing the peace of others, currently there's no, that's not against the law. So we're looking at, right now it says if the noise is after 10 to 7 is really when it's supposed to be quieter. But many of you may realize a lot of people in neighborhoods go to bed before 10 o'clock, maybe 8, 9 o'clock. So we're looking at changing the hours to possibly at least 9, that any noise over certain levels past 9, it will be against the law, and you will get a warning initially and then possibly a citation. But we're trying to accommodate neighborhoods where people have had problems with their neighbors playing loud music or revving cars. Maybe they're working on cars and they're revving them at all hours of the day and night, and maybe somebody in that neighborhood works graveyard and need to be able to rest during the day, or they have children that take naps during the day. So we're trying to look at how we can change that ordinance to accommodate and help stop some of the disputes between some of the neighbors over noise. So if you have any feedback on that, you're welcome to contact myself at City Hall and provide some additional feedback on that. And I'm going to turn it over to Chris, and so she can share some of the projects she's working with.
So one of the most important projects in my mind is I am co-chair for the 2020 census. And we are, with COVID, census has been very, very different. And so we are kind of thinking outside the box to get people to complete their census. This year on the census is the first time that we have been able to complete it online or by phone. And you can go to my2020census.gov and complete it online. You don't need to have the unique identifier. If you have received it in the mail, you're more than welcome to use that unique identifier. It helps the census track you a little better. You can also call 844-330-2020 for English, or for Spanish 844-468-2020. One thing that we're doing in order to encourage people to complete their census is you'll receive a confirmation number at the end, and we would love you to email us that confirmation number with your contact information at getcounted@co.cibla.nm.us, or call 505-285-2555, and you'll be put into a drawing for gift cards from participating businesses. We have gift cards for La Ventana, Tasty Kitchen, Casino Camacho, Gabby's, the Bowling Alley, El Cafecito, Inscription Rock Trading and Coffee Shop, Mount Taylor Coffee, Whistle Stop Coffee Room, Asian Buffet, and many, many more. We would love to be highly counted. The things that help us when we are counted in the census is, one, it helps bring new businesses to our area. I reach out to businesses asking them to come in, and so many times they want us to have an overall count of 50,000. Our county is at 27,000. In the 2010 census, we were undercounted by 27%. We are down so much from there. In the city of Grants alone, only 9% have been counted. In Milan, 1% have been counted to date. It helps support communities such as Section 8 housing, family services for child abuse and neglect, education, the Head Start, food assistance, so the SNAP benefits, unemployment insurance, health care. We all see the need for good health care at this time, in this unfortunate time that we're going through. Small business development centers, infrastructure, which is your roads, your sewer, your water, environment, the wildlife grants, and public safety, which is our police and our fire department and EMS services. So I would like to encourage everybody to please complete your census and be counted. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the film industry. You know, our state is finally starting to open back up, and the film industry will be revving up soon. We have 2 large production companies with Netflix and NBC Universal in Albuquerque. We're a short drive. I've been in talks with the New Mexico Film Office. We need more photos. So if you have a home or a business or a piece of property you would like to be considered as a film location, please contact me at the city offices, 287-7927, because we want to be the next Hollywood. We want to be called Grantwood. So that's something that, I work passionately on, is the film industry, and trying to bring films in here. We did have a film filmed here in February from some German students that came over from Germany and hired some local people, and we will have the premiere here. It has been postponed because of COVID, and they can't travel over to the United States at this time. In tourism, we won't see as many hikers from CDT as we normally do. The last count that I got from CDT, only about 22 people have registered. In years past, we have about 350 that pass through our area. We are a gateway community, so, please feel free to tell these hikers hello. I know some of them kind of look scraggly, but most of them are very interesting and nice people, and they're fun to learn about their trip. We have so many great tourism spots here, for hiking. We've got wonderful museums. We've got the Neon Arch, La Ventana, the lava tubes that you can hike through, the caves, the bat flights. There's so much to do in our area. Please, get out and enjoy and explore and learn about our area so you can pass it on.
That reminds me, in August, we will be having community forums to talk about a strategic plan to how we can focus and highlight our outdoor adventures. And so that was supposed to happen in April and got postponed now, but we have a team coming in from back east of individuals that are working with 10 different communities across the nation to help small communities, small rural communities focus on outdoor adventure. So we'll be putting out some information on Facebook and different flyers and the newspaper about when those community meetings will be, in case you'd like to participate.